What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Power Conversations. Of course, I'm your host, Art. Excuse me. Today we have a very special guest. Help me if I mess up your name, please correct me.
No, let me see. I like this game. Let me see. So I want to see how you're going to pronounce it, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Okay.
Don't think too hard about it.
Way Annie.
Oh, so close. So close. So close. You got the first one right. Most people get that extremely wrong.
Okay.
So, way Ani.
Way Annie. Okay. Well, welcome to Power Conversations. It's great to have you. That was like I like how you broke down the special thing. I like that. Because the last guest I had, she was just like, just stop saying special guest. Just say a person.
But for me, I'd feel some type of way if somebody was like, "We have a guest here," and I'd be like, "Dang!" Like nobody.
Yeah,
You
put some
you
sauce
said,
on my name.
yeah, you said special guest every other time, and now
want
I'm
the
the
guest?
guest. Like, I didn't want that. No, I don't mind the special guest because it's different. I like.
All right. Well, let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay, what do
I
you want to
know
know?
I know you're from Harlem, right?
Yes.
Can you see? I'm not from New York. I've been in New York for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I think, and
Where are you from originally?
from Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah,
What are you doing here?
work,
Oh my gosh.
radio.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Well, congratulations for that.
yeah.
I didn't know Minnesota. I just assumed you were from New York.
Really? Do I have a New York accent?
Like a little bit, but like
Wow.
it's just your demeanor. Maybe maybe the city got to you really fast.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good. Is that a good? I don't know.
When you live here, yes, you need
You
to
need to have that energy.
adapt quick.
Okay. So walk me through growing up in Harlem. Where exactly? Because Harlem is such a confusing place.
Is it?
I think so.
I think it's so simple. You got the
Really? It's almost
yeah,
like Queens. It's like they have like the numbers, street address.
yeah.
You go this way, is all of a sudden it's going up, and then all of a sudden it's going down. I don't know. For me, it's confusing sometimes.
To me, I grew up around the Apollo and Red Rooster, Melba's. Like that's all like on the like right by Central Park, right by Central Park area, and I would see a whole bunch of different, all the culture, all the people. It wasn't too confusing for me because I'm like, this is very normal. I grew up going to places like Harlem School of the Arts and going to dance classes. So you kind of just, you grow up being used to a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being very creative. If you were there and not being creative, you were looked at as like, okay, well, what else do you do? You're creative in some way. You make clothes. Do you draw? You do art? You do some sort of painting? What do you do? You
Yeah.
got to do something. It's like, yeah, you could be in finance, but also I make clothes.
Mhm.
Like that's how it is there.
No, that's such a valid point because that's really what that I was thinking about that. Like Harlem is such a creative place,
Mm.
and I can't remember the exact age, but I know you mentioned on another interview that around 12 was when you really like started tapping into your creativity. Um, so like walk me through that experience. Like how did you know this is what I wanted to do, create music creatively,
Mm.
and um, at such a young age? Like how did you what's the word I'm looking for? Like I guess how did you um yeah like just walk me through it. I don't want to
Yeah.
speak too deep, but walk me through it.
Yeah. So by the time I was like 10, I was always doing like recitals in school. I went to school in Jersey, so I was always back and forth between like Jersey and Harlem. And I wanted to do music because I just knew I didn't want to stop doing it. And as a kid, that's a big deal because, kids change their mind all the time. They're like, oh, you know what, I want to do soccer. I want to do, which I did do multiple times.
Mhm.
I did do like the sports and other things. And if I, at one point, actually had to make a choice, it was either going to be music and dancing and theater and everything else, or it was sports.
Mhm.
And I chose music. Um, but I grew up in a household that was filled with music. My mom sang, my sister sang, and then I had a whole plethora of just playlists of different types of music between hip hop, R&B, rock, jazz, especially from my father. It was a big melting pot, kind of like how Harlem is. But again, that was something very normal. It wasn't something I looked at as it's so different from everybody else until I left my bubble.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was that I mean, I don't know if you could speak for your parents, but do you think that was intentional, like to introduce you to like such a diverse catalog of music?
Yeah, I think so. But I also think that's just who they were
Okay.
too. But I think my dad was very intentional about exposing me to different types of music. And at some points I'd be like, oh, dad, like, please, like, just, I want to hear like Radio Disney or something. Like, I just want something simple, something regular. And he'd be like, no, you gonna get this Miles Davis. Like, you gonna understand this Ella Fitzgerald. And then Ella Fitzgerald ended up being and still is one of my favorite artists because
Wow.
she's funny and she articulates herself very well within music and outside of it. And she was a diva. So I looked up to her a lot. But yeah, I think it's very intentional because now if you don't expose your kid to the stuff that's going to help their brain expand, how do you expect them to, they'll figure out other ways to make their brain expand and it may not be in the direction you want them to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you carry, I mean, you obviously, if you people listen to your music, you can see that you carry that diversity in your songs.
Thank
Just
you.
the different variations that you create.
Thank you.
Now, are you intentional with that, like to show that range? That
Yeah, again, I like so many different genres of music, uh, that it's hard to kind of pinpoint one thing. I make music though, and I just think to myself, all right, like, how do I feel? What instruments is going to, bring that forth better than I could really say it, or what melody is gonna go here? Because I'll do something from like something that sounds more rock to something that sounds more R&B or pop, and it still all feels like me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that I learned about you, I learned that, you know, this is like we're taking it back, but with your writing style, you kind of shaped it early on
Yeah.
because you were writing from the experiences of a middle schooler
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So I'm curious now
Hmm.
at the age that you are. Of course, your style has evolved, but
Yeah.
where do you draw your experiences from? Is it your personal experience, or are you more inspired by people around you or your family? Where do you draw?
I think it's not limited. I think it's not monolithic. I think that there's a whole range of areas that you can grab inspiration from. I get inspired from all of it. Definitely real life situations because I can take something, maybe something small that happened and expand it. You only need 3 minutes, 30 seconds
Mhm.
or less. Nowadays, you could do less, right? But like, that's all I really need in order to get my point across. And within that 3 minutes, 30 seconds, there are three pockets that sound exactly the same. I just got to get my point across within the verse, the second verse, and the bridge. And that's the great thing about being an artist is that you can take something that might have felt like a blip in your life and memorialize it right there within the music. So I could talk to my friends and be like, yo, this person just said this crazy thing to me and I hated it and it made me feel just so disrespected and I'm so like just disgusted. And I'm like, disgusted? Fascinating.
Turn it
Okay.
into a song.
Yeah. I'm like, fascinating. Okay, yeah. All right. Oh, see that again? What you just said? And then I'll type it down and my friends know like if I'm typing something down, I'm more than likely just add an idea pop into my head.
Now, okay, I know you were just like throwing stuff out there, but is that a real example of how disgusted?
Disgusted actually happened. I was with my friends.
Okay.
So that part is true. I was at Songhouse and this was my first experience doing Songhouse. I'd seen them online and uh the prompt was wishing that you may be happy that something didn't happen because it would have changed the trajectory of your life. That's how Songhouse works. You get a prompt, and then you go off. You have 30 minutes to write a verse and a hook. Figure it out amongst yourselves. You go off in little groups, and then you come out and you sing it for the first time in front of everybody. No pressure. And that happened to be one of the things. It'd be like, oh, you know what? Like, maybe you could be happy that like you didn't fall in love with somebody and you really wanted to, and then now looking back at it, you're like, oh my gosh, like dang, actually I'm extremely disgusted with you. And then that people were like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And we write and we write and we write, and then song went viral, and then we still hadn't had a second verse. They were like, drop the song. We were like, there's no rest of the song, it's just the verse and the chorus. So we wrote the second verse and really quick bridge on Zoom while there was a hurricane happening for them in Nashville, and it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stay on like, I guess, writing for
Yeah.
a second, because I like how you talk about your experience with, not experience, but you sticking to the writing book and the pen and the pad. I
Yeah.
like that because I think from if I watch a lot of interviews, a lot of people are proud to say, you know, oh no, I just go in the studio and whatever comes to heart, which I guess is good too, because that's they're both authentic, I guess, but there has to be something about connecting, you know, the pen and the sheets.
It's really grounding. You get to actually see your process, which then at least keeps me motivated. I can see where something might have been like, if I use disgusted as an example, this may not have been exactly how it was, but if I wrote, I can't believe I fell for you. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm gonna kick you out the door. And then I'm like, that's corny. Let me scratch that out. Then you go from that to, I can't believe I let you win. Told you all my deepest secrets. Told me I'm expensive, but you treated me the cheapest. And you're like, okay, this is good. But I saw where I was before, and it shows that, you know, your instinct. I get to see my instinct work in real time, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that I know it like it's almost like critiquing I guess it is
Yourself.
critiquing
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know when you're in school and the teachers like I don't know if they did this at your school, but I remember when I was in high school, not so much college, but high school, we had to write our papers and then like give it to someone else to have them
Oh, to
like
proofread it.
proof.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
almost kind of like that, but except you're
Yeah, you gotta redline your own work.
Yeah.
You gotta take out and be like, okay, is this good or is this bad?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
In a music form, to me, it feels like I don't want to say short. I don't want to say shortening yourself, but like because from my understanding, if you have to be honest with whether this is good or bad, like are you? Um, is challenge the word? I don't know if you're challenging yourself, but
Yeah, I mean, I it's accurate.
you think so?
I think because you do challenge yourself, you do take the time to be like, because you get that feeling of, I can say this better. Like something within, especially the songwriting world, even if you're writing for like, if I'm writing for me or if I'm writing for other people, I'll think, we'll look at each other and be like, can we beat it? Can we beat this? And then if you're asking the question, 9 times out of 10, the answer is, yeah, we can beat it. But let's keep it here just in case it works later on with the stuff that we write later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about a recent song you have out, Jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
I have this is music, so I'm allowed to have.
Go ahead.
I have like some interpretations, and I kind
You
of just
go
want to.
and you, I'm gonna tell you write anyway.
Okay. So I feel like you have this well, one part you have this theme of like being like out of bounds, like there's no rules and I just want to live carefree, kind of. That's the interpretation that I got.
Go ahead, go ahead.
And so it made me wonder, you know, when you're in that state of mind, um, like, do you feel like you're free when you're just out, no rules, out of bounds? Like, is is that when you're free?
When I'm writing?
Not
Or
not
just like
necessarily
in
writing,
general?
but just in life in general. Like when there's no rules to box you in, do you feel like that's when you're the most free? Because I feel like that's what it described to me. Some like you just want to. I don't even know how to describe, but like just being free. Like, but
Yeah.
I don't know if free is hidden. Like how I have it imagined.
Okay. Okay, so
Did I get that right?
there's like, I would say, like, you know what, the if you look at a different painting, he's gonna say something different to everybody. But I think that you definitely got, like, that's actually one big aspect of it, because really what it's saying is there's a lack of freedom, or somebody's trying to take that feeling of freedom from you, and you're saying like, hey, you don't have that power over here, buddy. Like, you don't got that. I know you think that you might, but it's not gonna pertain to you, because out here you get to be who you want to be, and you get to have that freedom to express yourself in whatever way that you feel like you want to express yourself. That's very important. Especially as an artist, you are told, or you're appreciated because of how different and creative you are. And then when you get together with certain people, the first thing they want to do is they want to trim the fat, and they want to be able to keep you in line with certain things that they're expecting. And naturally, we don't like fit in that all the time, so it can be very difficult. So yeah, I would say that feeling free and feeling like there are no bounds is definitely a theme of
Yeah.
jurisdiction. Yeah.
And how do you protect yourself from, I guess, an industry that tries to, from what it looks like, a lot of people water that down.
Good foundation, good people around me. I can't take credit and be like, I've done it, it's all me. Like, I cannot say that. It's the people around me. It's the like the good friends that I have. It's the producers and songwriters that listen to me whenever I say, like, I don't really love that, or let's just go for it, or indulge the crazy things that I think about and end up having these really cool songs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always I'm giving credit to the people around me, because that's how I feel protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing I like about you is you play the social media game, and what I mean by that is like you understand um, you need this, but I don't think you let it define who you or
Oh, I
change.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that on tape. I need it on tape. I need it on a shirt. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get my question is, how did you learn to use the social media without letting it dilute your artistry?
Oh my goodness. So first off, social media is the name of the game.
Mhm.
I don't love it all the time. Actually, most times I don't love it. But that's the name of the game if you're trying to be an artist now. That's the thing. All of my favorite artists growing up, they didn't have to deal with any sort of social media. You got to be on TV, morning shows, late night shows, editorial articles, different things. You got to be able to do all of that, and then maybe you might put something up on Facebook, maybe. And then it was like, that's okay. Now it's like, I need to know who you are, what you're doing, the background of how you're doing this stuff. I'm trying to see all this. And for me, oh, I don't think they want to hear that. Why do they care? Why do they need to know all of that? My mom would call that secret squirrel. I've been very
Why?
secret squirrel
Or you
about
just keep
that.
things to yourself?
Yeah, I'm like, I just keep. I'm very like to myself when it comes to letting go a lot of information. But then I realized, like, okay, I can have fun and put that up. and people will still feel very connected to me
Mhm.
because I enjoy social media and I like laughing and having a good time or learning new things that I may not have learned on the news or I like that you do get to have a good insight to your favorite artist. And I think to myself, if I like that, what makes you think that your fans won't like that? So I learned by just doing, especially with TikTok. Yeah.
By just doing what are, aside from social media,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much you have to share online,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're a public figure.
Yeah.
Are there things that you specific things that you keep to yourself that just not only helps with your piece, but just helps you function better, knowing that you have to give so much? And what are those specific things you would say?
Well, thing I can't tell you the things because then it's the thing, and it's the things that are out there.
Yeah, right there.
But it would be like family stuff, health
Yeah.
stuff, just little things that I get to keep for myself. Like if I'm in a relationship, I am very protective of the people that I love,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to expose them to the war zone that is social media, right? You can have some really good days and then you can have some really bad days where people will say all types of stuff. I don't want to expose the people who I care about to that. They want to, that's a whole different thing. That's like, yeah, come on, like be in the video, do all the things. But I keep a lot of it to myself because naturally that's just how I am. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like, you don't feel
I mean, sometimes I can feel pressured, but I get more I get more so like, but let me tell you this. Why do they need to know? I'll give them a little bit of something because it can feel daunting
hmm
giving out your information like that because then now people know they have something to recall on and just be like, oh, well, I remember she said this or what about what happened to this person? But I also, on the flip side, commend all of the other people who put not necessarily like all their business, but like expose and bring to light parts of themselves that may not be the most comfortable and be very vulnerable. I admire that.
hmm
I think I strive to be more like that
hmm
in certain aspects. I think it's very brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if is it the same with the music? Because I feel like you reveal a lot in your songs,
Yes.
especially on the heartbreak side, right?
Yes.
Um, that some could say that's over. I don't want to say oversharing, not in a bad way,
But
but
it's
like that's
vulnerable.
yeah.
Yeah. With
So
music, it's different.
okay, how so?
With music, you can almost um maybe put a not a character, but you can kind of like place yourself differently in the music. You're like, all right, I'm putting out a message, so it won't just feel like people are just listening to what I'm saying as me.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take it and they'll make it their own.
Yeah.
But when you're on social media, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're doing anything, even as far as like something small like Snapchat, you're you have that that moment where you're like, oh, they're looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at the information I'm telling them. And people can be messed up.
Yeah.
People can be messed up. So you feel very naked. But there is a nakedness within music too, but you also know that you're not the first person to feel like that
Yeah.
within songs. It could be very vulnerable in music. But I appreciate that. And that's something I do more often than with social media.
Yeah. Basically, like with the music, you can create like a defense mechanism. Like I remember Will Smith was talking about before how the like Will Smith is his real name, but he said like in his mind he created the character Will Smith.
Yeah.
So, whenever people or whenever something happens with Will Smith the character, he can have some type of separation from like the actual person Will Smith than versus like the character Will Smith.
Yeah.
And there's two
Like
in
alter
his mind it's a
ego
two
type
different way.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it it can feel you put different hats on And when you're on social media, there are no hats. It's just you. Unless you're playing a character, unless you're doing some, social media tends to start to be your job, as well as, making music, performing, doing different press runs. But also, you got to be good at social media. That's something that you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I want to salute you on something I saw
Yeah.
that I really appreciated.
What?
The Hardwood music video.
Yeah.
I thought it was dope how you represented for the ASL culture.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I know you did that in connection with your brother, but I also, is there also like more specific reasons why you wanted to make that connection?
I just think it's beautiful. I think I took ASL in high school, and I was engulfed in a culture that I thought was so gorgeous. And that's what it is. It's a culture. People think that it's just like a disability, and that's just kind of no. It's not even necessarily. If you say it's a disability to somebody who's deaf or hard of hearing, they'll look at you and be like, but I'm able to do anything that I want, so what am I disabled to do? And I can speak a language that you have no idea what I'm saying. So who's really disabled? Like that's what they'll clock you real quick. And and I loved that. I was like, oh man, the attitude and the fierceness and the beauty with which they speak, their facial expression, because having facial expressions is really important within communicating with ASL. I just think that it was something so beautiful, and they welcomed me into their community. And by no means am I perfect when it comes to ASL, but I am able to understand a lot of it. And I can't say enough that I think that it should be represented more, as not just something that deaf people should use. I think it also teaches fine motor skills within children. I think it also expands brain development, because it's not just about hearing. Like, yes, we're learning language about how our mouths move, but when you're using your hands, you use your face, your hands, you use your mouth, you use everything. So you have to learn proximity to body language, because most of the English language or any language is body language. So you have to learn how to do that. It's super important. So I'm thinking, hey, if more people understood how to speak like that, and just really took the time out to grow with that language, it's really cool.
How long did it take you to grow that language?
The time I was in high school, so about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so, I love languages. Like I really love Spanish. I've been taking Spanish since I was little. I also really love Portuguese. I shout out to all my Brazilian fans. Like I think languages are such an underappreciated just group, being able to speak so many languages. And it's so odd to me that people will see that, like somebody like just learning English and being able to speak 3 other languages. In our country, I don't know why it's looked at like they're dumb.
What? Since when? I always
Okay,
feel like,
no example.
Go ahead.
Ready? Here. Ready?
Go ahead.
Somebody who is Hispanic, but they also happen to speak Portuguese, right? They're coming to America. They have a visa. They're working. But while they're working, they don't have the capability to be able to go to school and learn English. So they're learning on the go. They have broken English. How do people here speak to them?
I think they try to dumb it down.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They try to dumb it down to try to
because they're trying to make sure that they
they understand, and they're like, oh, see, this person doesn't know English.
see.
Yeah, but he knows 2 other languages, which is already 2 more than what you know. So really, it's like that it's used plenty of times. People say it all the time. You're in America, learn English. And then as Americans, we will go to other countries and expect other people to cater to our language. How pompous is that?
Yeah.
No, I want to be able to go to different countries, go on tour, and be able to speak to them. That's a common courtesy. You came out to hear my music that's in English, to see my shows, to be out in whatever weather is gonna be there. Take time out to pay, the bills, the kids, if you have school, you took time out to have that just nothingness to be like, I'm gonna just step into Wayani's world. And if I'm in a different country, I can't learn how to say, hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming out. I got to speak English to them. And they have to fight to understand me. What sense does that make?
That's a good point. But about the example you give, because I'm really curious now. Like, how would a person approach that situation? Like,
talk to them normally.
Okay.
How are they going to learn? Talk to them normally. Say, hey, listen, take your time. I understand what you're saying. Just let me know if I need to slow down so you need to understand what I'm saying. That's like when people who find out that someone is deaf and they're like, hey, listen, sorry, I'm deaf. And they start speaking louder. I just told you I'm deaf. I can't hear you. Why are you speaking louder in order for me to understand what you're saying? Because then it people hear deaf, they think dumb, which is a word that they would use to say that somebody is deaf about 50 to 60 some odd years ago.
Stevie Wonder said something the other day, and I want you just reminded me of it, and I want to pull it up because I just want to bring it out. What did he say, man? Hold on, because people have this like theories that he's not really blind, and he said something the other day. We just reported on the brand. He said it was so what
did he do? He called someone ugly?
No, nothing. He said, all right, so he was like, he said right here, there have been rumors about me seeing all of that, but seriously, the truth? Truth is, shortly after my birth, I became blind. Now, that was a blessing because it's allowed me to see the world in version of truth, of sight, see people in the spirit of them, not how they look, not what color they are, but the color, but what color is their spirit. I thought that was just a fly away.
That's beautifully.
Yeah, it just reminded me when you said that. It just reminded me.
True, though. It's true. If you took everything away, you took all of the color, the culture, the isms, the left and right, the middle, the all in between.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, you still bleed. You're still just a skeleton underneath everything, and we're still people. We're still human, and I would like to judge you off your character rather than where you come from, how you present yourself within your culture. I want to just know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these disabilities allow people, quote unquote disabilities, allow people to really see who people are.
Now, another question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Relating to the music, because like I said earlier, like you talk a lot about heartbreaks, or at least this particular song I listened to.
Which one? Which song?
Flowers. I listened to that whole
Flowers.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Do you remember?
No, of course I remember it. I just sang it. Yes.
It's a lot of
yesterday. Yes, yesterday.
Now, to me, I took away, the heartbreak that I was just talking about, but I wanted to know from you, what advice do you give your homegirls when it comes to like setting boundaries? Do you give advice like that?
My first thing is always start the relationship with boundaries. This is what we will do. This is what's on the table. This is what won't happen. And then that's it. If somebody doesn't abide by that, or they don't ask, or they don't make you feel comfortable enough, then I mean, hey, there's your answer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely give some advice.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
ever had trouble with that in your own life, like setting boundaries, or is it like if you can't follow it, it's good?
No, absolutely. Anybody who says that they haven't had trouble setting and following their own boundaries is lying, because all that is that's just being disciplined. Everybody has to learn how to become disciplined.
Mhm.
You don't just come out and you got it like that. You don't. And that also happens within relationships, whether that's relationships that are with your significant other, with friends, with family. Set up clear boundaries. But sometimes you might slip a little, and then it's like, all right, I learned from that, and I learned I still really don't like that, and then go back. The good thing is that every day you wake up, you get another chance to try it.
Every day you wake up, you get that chance to try again. That's
Yes.
yeah.
Yourself off and try again.
I know that. Who the hell is that song from?
I'm not saying
No,
anything.
I know the song. I know the song. But
I'm
just not
not
clicking right
saying
now. I know the song. I know the song. But let's stay here for a second,
Oh,
though.
no. I'm going to bring that back up later.
I know the song. I know it's in my head. I just can't. I just can't.
Minutes.
But let's stay here though, because I
Yeah.
did wanted to talk about the EP that you put out, because you haven't put out any other body of work since then.
Nope.
But I remember during that time when you put it out, you mentioned that you were under intense pressure when you put all that together.
Correct.
You know, what did you learn about yourself being under that pressure? What did you learn that you were capable of doing?
I was capable of keeping myself in my room for a lot of for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
And then two, I learned that I can do a lot more in a shorter amount of time than what I realized. And I was like, if I could do this, shoot, somebody else could do this too. Maybe 2 weeks to put everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm assuming you're working on the singles out, so I'm assuming there has to be something following it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it complete? Is it a complete body of work, or are you just gonna continue putting out just singles?
No, I mean it'll be a mix of both. I have a really cool thing coming out. I can't say quite yet.
Okay.
I can't say quite yet, but I definitely have. I'm a body of work type of human being.
Okay.
I love albums. I think they tell a beautiful story, and I really want to be able to make sure that whenever I have a concept, whether it's an EP or an LP, I want to make sure I have a good story from beginning, middle, end. So yes, there will be a project, and then there'll be a bigger project.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be, you don't have to confirm or deny, but so if I heard you right, there'll be a EP and then an album.
That's what you said.
Okay. All right. Do you? Is it whatever it is that's gonna be out? Is it done, or are you finalizing? Are you finalizing it? Like
You're always if every artist is always finalizing their stuff. They're never completely done ever until it comes out and you're like, crap, I can't touch it no more. It's out there. I can't do it. So you're always in the process of finalizing stuff until the very second it comes out.
Okay.
Always.
So whatever it is that you're working on is complete.
That's what she said.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I hold on, let me see. Oh, no.
What?
I have one more question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about like do things change? I know perception wise it changed for other people, but when you receive cosigns like from, Stevie Wonder, like we just talked about, or Alicia Keys, like I know
Missy Elliott.
I know, and perception wise it changed, but like for you, like how does that feel? Do it change for you? To change how you approach this? Is it like, oh, now I'm like really I gotta take shit serious. Like
No, I mean, like,
it's just another.
is no, no, no. Like, it's not like it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. So much so that you're like, oh crap, they're aware of me. I can't disappoint these people I've looked up to.
Mhm.
So now you're like, I gotta double down. Because so like I've always grown up being very serious about it. Like being like, no, if I said I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Because like my dad was like, yeah, it's either you're gonna do this, get good grades, or you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it halfway. We're gonna do this. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this.
Mhm.
So I get the opportunities to be in front of people who I've looked up to all of my life. The first thing I want to do, one, it's insane that it happens, and I'm extremely grateful. And then I'm like, how can I make that happen again? Yeah. And although I don't live for the admiration of others, it still feels nice.
Mhm.
How can if it got to these people who have literally made millions of people feel something from their music and I make them feel something, yeah, I could bottle that up, sell that. It feels good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know I said that was my last question, but this is my last question.
Listen,
And this
yeah.
is the question that I've been asking everybody that
Yeah.
I interview. Basically, what I want to know is what is one thing that people fantasize about your life that's actually a struggle?
Music in general.
How so?
Music in general is tough. This is not an easy like journey to take. People romanticize it a lot because again on social media, the perception of you know, everything is all glittery, but all that glitters ain't gold. So you have to make sure when people see you, you maintain that like glittery persona. But I mean, anybody that you talk to, they'll be like, hey, I'm having a tough time. And that's not just with the music, that's in the dance world, that's in acting. Until you get your big, big, big break, you're still the quote unquote like struggling artist. So you work to continue. I heard somebody say this, and I can't remember who it is. You work the 10,000 hours to become the best new artist, even though you've been doing this forever. I've been doing this since I was 12. So I've gotten way more than 10,000 hours out of it. But my goal is to be like best new artist and then keep going. So yeah, it's music in general. People think it's this like crazy glamorous life and insane. It's like, listen, it's not glamorous until it gets there, and even then, it's not as glamorous as people may think it is. The glamour comes. You want to know what real glamour looks like?
Tell me.
Real glamour is when you're on stage. There's 50 plus thousand people. Not even 10,000. Not even 200 people. 50 people singing your songs word for word, yelling it right back at you, looking you dead in your face. They're not worried about bills. They're not worried about their kids. They're not worried about illness, sickness. They're not worried about what they have to do when they get home. It's just you and them, word for word, together singing, because the song is no longer just mine, or the album is no longer just mine, it's theirs. That's glamour. That's glamorous. That's some diva stuff right there. That's cool. You get your work done so that way you can give whatever gift that you've been given out to other people. That's real glamour.
That's why.
Thank you.
Damn. Awesome. That's a great way to end it. I love asking that question last because it's such a great way to end it. So thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate the conversation. Well said at the end. Like I said, she's got an EP and an album coming out, but I said it, so
yeah, you said it.
she's
You
not
said it.
confirming it. Well, you'll look out for that.
If not, listen to Jurisdiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stream that.
Yes.
And until next time, we'll see y'all. It's Power 105.1.